Welcome back. In a major fiscal reform, President Bola Tinubu has issued an executive order mandating that oil and gas revenues due to Nigeria be remitted directly into the Federation Account Allocation Committee (FAC) without deductions by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited (NNPCL). The order suspends previous retention mechanisms, including funds allocated to frontier exploration and management fees, and seeks to enforce constitutional provisions on centralized revenue remittance. The reforms aims to boost transparency, fiscal discipline, and FAC allocations for federal, state, and local governments. Garba, quickly, what exactly did President Tinubu's executive order on oil and gas revenue remittance change about how funds flow into the FAC account?
You see, Mark, it's time for, I'm happy about one thing, that Mr. President himself oversees the affairs of the petroleum industry.
Right.
And it took him quite a while to come up with this decision, signing this Executive Order number 9, which outlines the fact that, this 30% remittance to the NNPC, to cover other expenses like management fee and also exploration fund, another 30%. If you look at it thoroughly, NNPC seems to be operating independently. I think it's time for the NNPC to go fully commercial so that they can go back to the capital market and source of fund and trade like any other entity. As it stands, if this decision is not taken now, we might find it difficult for trading going forward. So I think Mr. President, the way he's working, I like him. He's taking it one step at a time.
Right.
He's not rushing it. He's taking his time to study and evaluate the whole situation. This is where we get our revenue from, and there's a lack of transparency in the NNPC over the years. And that is why we're seeing all these gaps. Okay. But the step he has taken, I believe going forward, there are people that will oversee, there are people that will audit the account of the NNPC, and I see NNPC doing very, 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 very well going forward, Mark.
Thank you very much. Now, Kayode, quickly, before now, activities of the oil sector seem to be so concealed from public awareness. Would this reform now restore public trust in our oil institutions?
Yes, I think the best way I think public trust can even be restored is for the presidency to even audit the NNPCL. I think it's time for the presidency to beam its searchlight on NNPC, because we've seen that of CBN, and you saw the quantum of money we're talking about. And I think this is overdue. So for when people are even saying that, oh, maybe good, there's a Petroleum Industry Act, which the president needed to do an executive order for this to be obeyed. And I can see that Penkerson is already raising highbrow. But beyond that, for me, this is very good, trust me. Virtually the 3 tiers of government will be celebrating this, because the calculation is saying about 15 trillion will be added to whatever we are getting from FAC, and that's a good amount of money. And as we're saying good amount of money, Nigerians should remember that it's time to also ask questions from your local council chairman and the councillors. It is not about, oh, states have not given us money, because that's another thing this administration has done well, going back to Supreme Court to revalidate the autonomy of the local government, including the fiscal autonomy. So for me, it's a good one for us. I know that this can still be contended, this can still be contested, people can still look at the power of the president to use that executive order, but I doubt whether anybody will go to court, to challenge this presidency, because he has a lot. Because if they do that, I think the presidency should even respond by auditing the NNPCL or whoever is raising this highbrow. But for me, this is a plus. This is something that a good number of people should applaud. And more importantly, the people should start asking questions. Let's see the effect of more money into the third tier, into the state, and even to the federal government. Because there's a lot of projects that this current administration is doing, and we don't want it to be abandoned.
Thank you very much. Ibrahim, quickly now, from what Kayode here just highlighted, there's going to be more money for the governors, the state, to the local government. Do you think this particular trend is going to change the narrative, where Nigerians will not continue to heap the blame on the presidency, but now hold their state governors and local government chairmen accountable?
You see, Mark, for too long we have depended too much on the oil and gas sector, and it has become a huge burden on the presidency concerning the way and manner it was being run by the individuals, the professionals who have on board.
Right.
So for quite a while, the way the NNPC is being run is not too transparent. And I'll take you back to some of the issues we have in the past where billions of dollars were voted for turnaround maintenance, and you find out despite these huge sums of money being voted into maintaining the NNPC, there's nothing to write home about. And that calls to mind questions Nigerians are asking concerning the oil and gas sector, especially the NNPC. So the best way going forward is for the president to take a decisive action so that Nigerians can begin to believe, especially now that we have the Dangote refinery competing with the NNPC. I think this is the right time for us to move forward and think of ways we can, see this competition, getting it stronger so that at the end of the day, there will be more money coming into the federal government account, and also Dangote refinery can compete favorably well, like any other player in the oil and gas industry.
Thank you very much. Before we go for our final conversation, Pengasan is warning that the reforms could lead to job losses or weaken NNPC's operational capacity. How do you respond to these concerns in a few seconds?
I think I touched that. It's just for us to, that's what union will always do. They always express their fear, and it's just for the presidency to assure them that job will not be lost. Rather, think about the bigger picture. The bigger picture is there are a lot of infrastructural deficit. There are a lot of people that needs to be employed, even at different tiers of government. This money will fix that. And beyond that, there shouldn't be job losses. There should rather be more jobs at different tiers.
Thank you very much
government.
for that.